Rebel with a cause. BK all day, baby. It's rebel season. The real rebels are back. I got the mind of a king. You should really protect them. Everybody talking, but rebel really the next. I got the mind of a king. Spread to never take this. Slavery, fake hip hop, you dead if you were racist. I got the mind of a king. You could never replace this. Blood from the mud, no love, so I'ma say I got the mind of a king. I know where I am from now. I'ma wake 'em up, you keep 'em sleep, it's up to me. I got the mind of a king.
Welcome to another edition. Rebel's not here, he's out of town, so he'll be back on the next episode. I got my brother OBASI with me, you know what I mean? And I got my brother Kalonji with me. You know, this is a brother that for the past few years, I mean, he's been putting a lot of work down here in Atlanta. And let me introduce a few things that he's involved in. He's the author of How to Build a People's Army. He's the co-founder at Black Power Media, and also he's the founder of the F.T.P movement, brother Kalonji. So, man, you know what's going on, brother?
Man,
how long you been in Atlanta?
I've been in Atlanta since going on 17 years exactly. I've been here since 2004.
Okay, I've been down here since 2003, man. I moved down from Chicago 2003. So yeah.
Yeah. I used to organize in Chicago, man. You know, definitely shout out to Chi-Town. I'm originally from Connecticut, though, from Bridgeport,
right.
Connecticut. You know,
right. But, I remember you was telling me that you had organized a few times at home, man.
Yeah.
No doubt. I just came from at home last weekend, man. I had fun, man. I always didn't want to come back down here, man.
Hey, man, Chicago's like a whole nother country.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It's like a different planet. You know what I'm saying?
It's a whole different feeling out there, man.
No doubt. Definitely in the summertime.
Oh yeah, man. I haven't been. I don't go home that much, man. But man, it was muggy. It was so muggy I couldn't hardly breathe up there, man. Yeah, it was muggy, man. Different kind of heat, but yeah, I had fun, man. I had fun at the crib. I had went a few months ago for my birthday too, man.
Okay, word.
So yeah. So let me ask you something, man. I know you, you know what I'm saying? You've been doing a whole lot of body work down here as far as organizing. You've been putting your boots to the ground. You've been for the people, and you still out here, man. How long have you been in the movement, brother?
I was like my man say, born with a Fez file. I grew up in this thing, man. Just as far as from the organizing tip, I go back generations. My great grandfather was a man by the name of Sam Pace. He's a native out of Florida. He was a Seminole. Basically, legend has it that some U.S. Marshals came onto his land, and they tried to snatch up his brother Aaron.
Oh yeah.
And according to their reports, 7 of them got bombed. You know what I'm saying? Trying to take him out. So that's how far we know. As far as movement and struggle. And then from there, my family on my that's on my mother's side, they end up moving to the Carolinas or whatever. And
right.
And the rest is blood in the veins is how
blood in the veins. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. So but I like yourself. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the 80s. So.
Oh man, tell me it's rough. Well, we make it up out them 80s. You know,
man, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother monster. So
right.
It's like one of the rappers. I think it was Ghostface said, "I only been a good nigga for a minute though." You know what I'm saying? I was out there kind of wilding out, and you had to get that Malcolm moment where you get locked up, you get hit with some numbers and everything, and
right,
realize that all the things that your parents and your OGs was telling you, was right and exact. You know what I mean? So sometimes, like they say, a hard head make a soft ass.
Right.
I mean, so you had to learn the hard way, and then from there, wasn't no stopping, man. It was just like these motherfuckers are what they are. Pardon my English.
Man, this we talk the way you feel on this show, brother, man.
Cool. I don't want to offend my brother OBASI, you know what I'm saying? He looking like Black Jesus, so I don't want no problems with him. No doubt. Yeah.
But now, man, that's interesting, man. It's interesting that you say that. So, okay, did you start like your protesting in the 80s when, or was it like, what was like the defining moment? Did you have like this epiphany, or was it during, your time doing your bid? Like, what was like the defining factor that you kind of came to your African mind, if I will say that? I like to use that term.
Yeah, that's cool in the gang, man. It was before I actually got what was snatched up. It was I think I started going to protests and all that on my own. Like I said, I'm from Connecticut, so I was a train ride away from Harlem, about 45 minutes, you know what I mean? So, New York's like our next door neighbor, you know what I mean? So I could damn near be in any part of New York in 2 hours or less.
Right.
So I started to join in a lot of these different protests and all that, maybe around, I've been organizing literally probably about 34 years right now.
34 years. Oh yeah. It's a long time.
Yeah. So even when when I was on the wrong side of the track, I still had good intent. You know what I mean? I was never my intent was never to oppress our people. But of course, being in the 80s or whatever, I did get involved in pushing some of that plantation poison and whatnot.
Right.
So you know what I mean? You know better, you do better. You know what I'm saying? But when it's a rat trap, all you see is the cheese.
Right.
You don't see the trap itself. You just see, if I get that right there, then I'm gonna be fat. You know what I mean? But not realizing that it's positioned to snap your neck.
Right. I think I think we all felt a bit like me. My father was I always had, like myself, I always say, because my mother was an educator, and she just taught black. She read a lot of books, black history, black. She had an array of books, you know what I mean? Then my father was a Black Panther. So you know what I mean? So like when you say it's like in your blood, it's just like in your blood. And I fell straight, to the streets too, but I always had that sense of black pride in me, because that's what they instilled in me when I was young, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I know exactly where you're coming from out of that aspect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And man, that's, like I said, that's what I think is so unique about both of y'all, that y'all have those kind of like those generations before y'all that put boots on the ground. Because I was born in the 80s. So I grew up in the 80s and 90s. So I necessarily never had that. I was the product of the broken home through the drugs and this. So my father was removed from the home. But I think, what I'm learning now in my position in the game, that I'm the one, like you said, bro, you had that story to tell about your grandfather, bro, that you said?
My great-great-grandfather, yes.
Your great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, same pace.
I'm the one that get to put that kind of solidify, and my grandchildren will be saying, hey, my granddad or my great-granddaddy. So I think that's beautiful, man, and how y'all continuing to hold the line and hold the legacy. Because so many times we're not really looked at as people understand that Africans do we take our bloodline serious.
Right.
I know it might not always seem from the masses of what they show, but there are brothers that really understand, keeping that lineage strong like that.
Yeah. And it's difficult, you know what I'm saying? I was I rejected a lot of things because of the fact that, again, growing up in the city, you fall victim to your surrounding. You're a product of your environment. I grew up in the projects. A lot of times when I say I'm from Connecticut, cats get it twisted thinking that I'm from some suburb and some
I know about Connecticut.
Yeah, I'm from the hood. You know what I mean? And it's not to glorify it. I'm not saying it like, you know, like, yeah, look at me. I'm just saying that, you know, I'm accustomed to certain types of environments. You know what I'm saying? I'm accustomed to certain types of things. You know, pissy project hallways, dope needles. Somebody slumped over, somebody got shot up, and some dried up blood in the hallway. You know what I'm saying? How my man say, broken glass everywhere. People just don't care. That's life. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing for me to step on the elevator, you know, and somebody shitted in the elevator or was piss in the elevator, and this is life. You getting stuck on the elevator with that. You know what I mean? So you know, it's you know, it's not a glorification, but your surroundings help to make you who you are. You don't have to necessarily fall victim to your surroundings. You don't even necessarily have to reinvent or represent your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? But once you have certain type of surroundings, unfortunately or fortunately, you adapt to the situation. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I can spot a cat talking slick a mile away. I see how cats move or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I can read energy. You know what I mean? So, you know, I run into a whole lot of cats grinning at me and trying to, you know, the fake shakes and all that. And, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, whatever, dude, I can honorably avoid you because of the fact that I just look like this. Let's not, you know what I'm saying? You like your eye, I like mine too. Let's be cool. You know what I'm saying? If not, then we both will be walking around with one eye. You know what I'm saying? And since I like both of mine, then here's a hint. I ain't planning on it being me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
Right.
Yeah, so.
But no, bro, I don't. You know what though, bro? I don't take it as like a glorification. What I think it is, it shows the reality of the circumstances we live in. Because people will think, like you said, Connecticut. They think white folks. No, the slum is everywhere.
Yeah.
The
and white folks is everywhere.
You know, Uruguay's chaos is everywhere, man. So hey, you know, that's kind of like a reality check of it is what it is. You know,
No
but
doubt.
hey, man, we resilient. We come through it from everywhere, whether it's Atlanta, whether it's Connecticut, whether it's Chi-Town, the slums everywhere.
People don't understand when they're saying it ain't where you from, it's where you at. It's not where you at geographically, it's where you at mentally. You know what I'm saying? So where you at mentally, where you at spiritually, where you at physically. You know what I'm saying? Geographically don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? We don't. Fact is, we don't acknowledge invisible borders and boundaries. That's just some shit that they carved up. You know what I'm saying? You saying you from Atlanta and me saying I'm from Savannah or whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying? It's still the same oppressive regime. It just might be a different colony.
Yeah, you know, by saying that, that's why I don't understand why people, I'm from the West Coast, I'm from the East Coast, I'm from up north. Man, we all in the same thing. We living in this motherfucker. Dude. I don't care where you from. We all black in America. We got to deal with the same bullshit.
Hey, what you say? I'm from the South Side. I'm from the West Side. I'm from this street. I'm from that street. Don't own shit, but it's like.
And you know what? You know what amazes me? We find simple stuff just to be for.
Of course.
Nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The colonized represent the colony more than the colonizer.
Right.
You know? We need to go harder.
Yeah. We need to know.
This is my master right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, my master better than yours.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to know what the stuff that I'm seeing today out here as far as the so-called music, the so-called internet, the so-called TV, man. It's a whole lot of buffoonery, and they just dump this shit off on our kids, man.
Yeah.
You know, you try, like me, I try to talk to you and whatever, but it's like, you know, you fight the losing battle. It's like, you know, we got to be the rage against this big machine, man.
Right. Well, I mean, it's you know, we're in the epicenter of the nigger machine. You know what I'm saying? This is where, you know, we live in the middle of the nigger machine. I get so many folks talking about, man, anything go in Atlanta, such and such, such and such. See, the deal is whatever goes in Atlanta will eventually go all across the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the machine where they create nigga. You understand what I'm saying? This is why you have all these goofy ass rappers and all of these different cats who come out here talking that bullshit and moving a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the experiment. And
right.
They experimented here in this particular colony. And then, you know what I'm saying, it's broadcast to the world so that folks all over the world can act like, you know, little this one and little that one and baby this and baby that and all this crazy shit. I mean, it's ill that we live in a society where you have grown men calling themselves babies.
Babies.
You know what I'm saying? You live in a society, you have grown men calling themselves little this and little that. We was talking about on our morning show earlier, they was talking about the rapper Jim Jones was talking about how he has how he telling folks to get down with Bitcoin, right?
Right.
I'm like, wow, here it is. You actually in 2021 listening to a motherfucker who called himself Jim Jones. Jim Jones was
all the names.
Out of all the goddamn names,
Jim Jones.
Got to say, yeah, you are out of your mind to even give him even. Clearly, he lost his mind.
Right,
and,
right.
And you already know the history of Jim Jones himself.
Yeah,
so, like, it makes no sense. It's just like, man, like,
yeah. We know the aftermath of drinking that Kool-Aid.
You already know. Here's a whole new picture. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got Kool-Aid, he got sugar water. He like warm sugar water. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't gonna do nothing but shit and have rotten teeth when I finish with this action I'm coming at you with, man. So,
right.
We're in a strange place.
Yeah, man. And that speaks to the continuation of keeping them in a childlike mental state, always a baby. This what lets you know Mama Frances Cress Welson's words. You know, they stuck. She wasn't just talking.
Nah.
Because we see it, man. Baby this, little this. Always in there. And see, man, I like this, man, because what's his name? You just said the nigga machine. It made me think about Dale Jones and the American Nigga Factor.
That's right.
He said that's what it do. He said, "Do you produce niggas?" And man, it's a hard time. You know what, bro? I'm glad I grew up. You know, we was talking about growing up in the 80s.
Yes.
I don't know if I would want to grow up in this era if I was a child.
No. I feel bad,
man.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like we're doing our children a disservice.
Right.
Yeah. You know, but nah, I agree with you. I mean, for one, it's like shit. We'd all got indicted if they had some of the technology that they have right now.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, if these cats right here, man, I was talking to a brother on Peachtree one day, man, recently. This cat come up, he knew both of us, the other brother, you know, kind of a known brother, whatever. So we just sitting there chatting, just him and I, just having a convo like we're having. Dude just come up with a cell phone, just like, so I'm talking to my dude, and he like, you know this dude? I said, nah, you don't know him? He said, nah. I said, what you doing, man? Oh, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? I just, you know, I want to give y'all props. I was just, you know what I'm saying? Dude, I mean, but we having a private convo, and we ain't talking about shit. We ain't talking about nothing deep. We, you know what I'm saying? We talk about some private shit that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Dude come right up in our face. I said, dude, man, I mean, you know, you can't ask. I mean, I don't even know you. Oh no, we friends on Facebook. My name such and such. I still don't know you, bro.
I'm here.
Yeah, and it's like, but we just the mentality right now. It's like you can actually just walk up to a cat, taking pictures of them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, that's some weird shit. I can see if we're at an event and we just kicking at an event or whatever, and it's that type of surrounding, so on and so forth. But dude just came out of nowhere, and we both thinking that the other person had to know him, because I mean, you know, so if we had that crazy shit in the 80s or social media or Instagram and all that type shit, cats, man, listen, man, we wouldn't have made it.
We wouldn't have made it, yeah. We wouldn't have made it.
Man, what the gospel song said, we wouldn't have made, I would go, we wouldn't have made it. I've got to go. But yeah, we'd have been jacked up, man.
Well, never would have made it.
Never would have made it. Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. That's my man, OBASI Christ.
Never would have made it, yo.
Never would have made it, boy. We'd have still been stuck, you know. But I give thanks, man, for brothers, like yourself, man, just continuing and to, make an effort to help us move this thing.
Right.
If we don't move it, if the three of us can't move it nothing but a centimeter forward,
Right.
it's better than going an inch backwards. You know what I mean?
And the way I look at it, some young brother, some young sister go see, somebody go see me. You know what I mean? I might spark something into their brain or into their mind. They even say something that make them think. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't hide it from the madness because it's here.
Right.
24/7, everywhere. You know what I mean? So somebody listen, because I don't like this shit, man. I don't like this shit at all. The agendas they pushing, I mean, they playing work. They playing is working, man. Work.
Listen, man.
But man, I think it's all about continuing to hold the line, because
you gotta hold the line. I mean,
a lot of times you may be the only quote unquote conscious one in your family.
Right.
So like with me, if they teaching Black Friday in one house, I'm teaching Black August in my house.
Right.
So the fact that we have to keep them kids abreast and understanding what the in August. So to speak on it, we would be remiss not to speak on and let them know what Black August is about. That we have a proud lineage.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Black August is one of the only revolutionary months we have left. You know what I'm saying? One of the only straight like that revolutionary months we have left. It is a month that we remember and commemorate political prisoners, particularly those who came out of the 11 prisons at that time in the state of California.
Right.
It is a month that we fast, we work out, we train, we work on our discipline. You know what I'm saying? We study. You know what I mean? We try to rid ourselves of vices and weaknesses. You know what I mean? But like I said, for the main thing is it is honoring and commemorating our fallen political prisoners. During the month of August, we have what's called flea days, and there are 4 flea days, and those flea days are the days that we fast 24 hours. You have August 1st, which is the day that we commemorate a freedom fighter by the name of Qatari Golden. He was one of the leaders who advanced under the leadership of Field Marshal George Jackson after he was assassinated. In 1978, Qatari Golden was actually on a football field on the yard at San Quentin.
Right.
And he's playing football, and there was a metal pipe sticking out the side of a wall. He ended up hitting his head on the side of that pipe, and consequently, they took him to the infirmary where they knew they couldn't do anything for him, so they held him for a number of hours, and then they ended up taking him to the hospital. At the hospital, they held him for a few more hours, and they took him to another hospital where, he met his demise. But basically, he transitioned from medical neglect because they just held him without treatment for so long. That was August 1st, 1978. 1 year later, folks began to commemorate Black August outside of outside the walls of San Quentin. And so Black August has been in existence this is the 42nd year. But rewinding, most people are familiar with George Jackson and Jonathan Jackson during the month of August, right? But before that, in 1970, there was a fight on a yard of Soledad prison in California, and it was some Aryans and some brothers, and the brothers who were involved in the fight was a brother by the name of W.L. Nolan, Cleveland Edwards, and Alvin Jugs Miller. And these brothers right here, they were revolutionaries. W.L. Nolan and George Jackson, they were the co-founders of the Black Guerrilla family. And the Black Guerrilla family started off as, as sort of like the Black Panther Party. It was a forward movement. Of course, like many organizations, they're criminalized and demonized, and the state sticks their fangs and paws into them and takes it to another level. So during that particular fight, these three brothers were shot by a prison guard by the name of Opie Miller. And Opie Miller opened fire on these brothers, who ranged in ages from 21 to 23. He opened fire on them, and they left them on the yard to bleed out and die. So they had everybody go off the yard, and they pulled weapons out on them, pulled guns on these guys that tried to go out and assist them, and threatened to shoot them as well. So these brothers, they died. They bled out in the yard. So a few days later, a prison guard was thrown off the top tier. George Jackson, Fleeta Drumgo, and James McClain, I believe it was. I'm getting kind of old, but I'm gonna get it right. They were charged as the Soledad brothers. So so they actually, after that, George Jackson wrote his book, Soledad Brothers, Prison Writings from George Jackson, and then he wrote another book called Blood in My Eye. But fast forwarding, in 1970, August 7th, 1970, Jonathan Jackson, George's brother, went into the Marin County Courthouse and, pretty much took the judge hostage, the DA hostage, court reporter, and he went in there with some arms, M1 carbine and some other weapons or whatever that was allegedly supplied by Angela Davis. He went in and said, okay, gentlemen, we'll be taking over from here. He passed his weapons to a few other brothers, and they jetted out in a van or whatever. He took some of these brothers with him, and the guards end up opening fire on that van, killing the judge, the DA, a few other people. One of the only survivors was Rochelle McGee, who is a political prisoner right now. He actually just went up for parole a couple weeks ago, and he was denied. He served 58 years so far. He's been locked up for 58 years. He's the longest held Black political prisoner in the United States right now.
What's his name again?
Rochelle McGee.
Okay.
Rochelle McGee, Ruchell McGee, Magee. You know what I'm saying? So he's a political prisoner right now that I would encourage, brothers and sisters to write. You know what I'm saying? Because that's very important. But anyway, so Jonathan was one of the folks who was murdered. 1 year later, George was murdered in prison, almost a year to the day. Jonathan was murdered or assassinated on August 7th, 1970, and George was assassinated August 21st, 1971. So they claim that after a visit with his attorney, he was going back to his cell, and he had an afro wig on with a 9mm under the afro wig.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like some of the most insane shit they can come up with. But
yes,
like, imagine, for those of us who have been locked up, imagine your attorney giving you a 9mm and an afro wig, and you able to put that shit on without nobody seeing you. You just walking, you know what I'm saying? You just walking the tightrope all the way to the cell. So they end up murdering him. So after that, again, there was a retaliation. I believe 3 prison guards was dropped. 3 or 4 prison guards. Forgive me, it's kind of late, but they were dropped. And the San Quentin 6 was the brothers who they accused of murdering this prison guard in retaliation of George's assassination. 2.5 weeks later, Attica State Prison, there was what was called the Attica Rebellion in New York, as a retaliation to the George being murdered. The inmates took over the prison for 4 days, you know what I'm saying, and served them bastards. So basically, the four flea days, just for the record, is August 1st, August 7th, August 21st, and August 1st, August 13th, August 1st, August 7th, August 13th, and August 21st. So August 1st, again, that's Qatari Golden. We fast for 24 hours in commemoration of him. August 7th, we fast 24 hours in commemoration of Jonathan Jackson. August 13th is for W.L. Nolan, Cleveland Edwards, and Alvin Jugs Miller. They were actually murdered January 13th, but their deaths are commemorated in August as well. And of course, August 21st is the assassination of our Field Marshal George Jackson. And George Jackson, for those who don't know, he was drafted by UEP Newton, Minister of Defense, to the Black Panther Party. So he became Field Marshal of the Black Panther Party. But he was an international figure, and you know, he was beloved all over the world. You know, and he went in, just for the record, he went in at age 17. He was accused of age 18, accused of robbing a gas station for $70. And was sentenced from 1 year to life in prison for robbing a gas station at $70. You know,
$70.
You know.
And one I may add, Mutulu Shakur birthday, August 8th.
Yeah. So so for the record, right? And I wanted to point that out, right? There are a number of different special days during the month of August. And you know what I'm saying? Of course, you have Mutulu's birthday, you have Marcus Garvey's birthday, you have Chairman Fred's birthday is August 30th, and a number of other, the Haitian Revolution, there's a number of other different things that go on. But officially, those are the ones I named are the ones that Black August was centered around. Mutulu was captured in 1981, and Black August was already being commemorated. But we honor Dr. Mutulu Shakur because of the fact that, you know, he's also a political prisoner. You know, and he put in that work. But, you know what I'm saying, it started with that. But of course, anything dealing with political prisoners, of course, we honoring the political prisoners. But just for the sake of, you know what I mean, just as far as like the clarity.
The sequential order,
Right.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
And no, man, that's good that you broke that lesson, that historical lesson.
Right.
Because we need to keep that alive, man.
Right.
Oh yeah. That to me,
we need to keep those names alive. You know, people need to understand Russell Schultz. You know, we need to understand the people that really did stuff for us.
No doubt.
You know, I think it's amazing. I just enjoyed sitting back getting the lesson, man.
Hey man, forgive me, man. I you know what I'm saying, my brain be on.
No, man, let it roll, man.
This fun, man.
Hey, man. But I want to point out too, man, for folks, you know what I'm saying, because of the fact that when you talk about political prisoners, most people think about, you know, folks being jacked up for either their beliefs or their affiliations or crimes committed. But the fact is, George Jackson went in as a social prisoner, meaning that he wasn't a political prisoner, but he politicized himself through revolutionary teachings while he was locked up. But not only did he do that, he taught himself, or he created a bastardized form of martial arts, you know what I mean, that he taught other brothers who were in the joint with him. So he taught himself how to fight. He taught himself, you know what I'm saying, his own style of martial art. And he taught the brothers that was in the joint with him that particular style. So you're talking about a brother, when you talk about Malcolm,
right?
You know, the things that him and Malcolm have in common is the politicizing. But I would dare to say that George received more revolutionary teachings behind the wall because of the fact that it wasn't from any particular organization.
Right.
With Malcolm, it was a structure with the NOI, and it was, you understand what I'm saying? And that doesn't take away from Malcolm's greatness because of the fact that Malcolm is definitely, you know, that's the prince, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we can't deny that. But George Jackson, you know, it was like, he's like, look, revolution, burn this shit down, war without terms. You know what I'm saying? You know, all the other stuff y'all talking about, that sound good, but this is what has to happen in order for us to be victorious. And these are the conversations that we don't want to have because of the fact that we would like to think that revolution is cute. We want to think that revolution is just our outfits, it's how tough we talk, it's some dusty ass uniform and some dusty boots and shit, you know, and you know, yeah, we just African. That's not gonna win. If we were just gonna win on the strength of being African, then shit, we'd be good. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I want to point that out. He was definitely a revolutionary to the core.
But man, no, but you know what's telling, bro, that's how dangerous that political real revolutionary education is. Because even when you behind bars, you're still considered a threat.
That's right.
No, just having that. I think another one that I look is and he just made it, and he just transitioned. But Sanka Shakur, people would know about Monster Cody.
Yeah.
Listen, yes.
He arguably, you know, I always say he didn't become as dangerous until he became in his revolutionary mind. That's when he really became quote unquote public enemy number one. So that just shows to you the volumes of how they fear us when we understand who we are. I
have a book coming out. He actually did the forward for one of my books. You know what I mean? So that'll be dropping. I have 2 more books on the way right now. I have one with my brother Balogun OJ Tade, which is he's over the African Martial Arts Institute, and he's also we co-chair Urban Survival Preparedness Institute. But we have a book coming out called Jagun, the African Art of War. And then I have a book coming out called Street Codes from Gangster to Guerrilla. And that's the one that Monster Cody did the forward for. Okay. But I want to point something out too, because when we was talking about George Jackson and the prison situation, folks don't know that there was a serious prison movement. So while there was the movement outside the walls, there was also a prison movement. So when brothers and sisters was captured and they got to the joint, they had cadre who they didn't even know, that knew what time their buses was coming through the whole thing. When they got off the bus, boom, I'm such and such. This is your security. We got you while you here. Boom, boom, boom. Because there's haters everywhere. You know what I mean? So a motherfucker want to knock your block off just because your name's KENWARDO. Just because of the fact that it's motherfuckers that hate me just because of the fact that they think that I think I'm tough. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Now, do I think I'm tough? I don't think I'm tough. But like my man say, I'm far from a rookie and ain't no punk. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I just look like this. If you coming up on it, then bring everything you need to. That's you know what I mean? That's what come with it. That like Imam Jamil said, it's what come with war. But the fact is, there was a prison movement. There was an underground movement inside the joints to make sure the brothers and sisters were good, because of the fact that there's always going to be haters who work for the state, and some of them work for the state without even realizing they work for the state. You know what I'm saying? Because the nigger machine has done such a great job at manufacturing niggas that the nigger in us will come out and say, instead of my man that just came on the screen, instead of us saying, you know, let's back the brother, whatever, you know what I'm saying, because of the fact that he talking righteous or whatever, you know, we like, oh man, fuck that dude. He think he cool. He just came on the screen like he owned the station or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Let me introduce the brother.
I'm messing with my brother right now. But that's how niggas roll.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They automatically looking to destroy instead of saying, yo, what's happening, comrade? How we gonna build up what it is we need to build? You know what I'm saying? With me, I'm honored to be able to, as you said earlier, hold the line with my airlights. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that when I see that red, black, and green, to me, that means that we're on the same team. So anything else from there, we can go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to be on the same page, but at least I know we're in the same book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I know if nothing else, I know that we believe this is the basis we can build. This is the foundation we can build off of. You understand what I'm saying? So I ain't got to worry about nothing else. Because if any one of us get out of line, like, look, dude, what's that red, black, and green about? Oh yeah, my bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm tripping.
Right.
You feel me? So, you know, so that there was this serious prison movement, and you know, even to this day, when you talk about Black August, because folks talk about celebrating Black August is not a celebratory thing.
Right.
Black August is a commemoration. You celebrate when you're victorious.
Right.
We're not victorious just yet on this. So what I'm saying by that is we have brothers and sisters who are locked up right now in the state of California. If they're caught with Black August materials, if they're fasting and all this type shit, that's considered contraband. They say that it's gang activities because they say, okay, you're affiliated with the Black Guerrilla family. So
Right.
this is paraphernalia. So over 300 inmates are put in a hole, put in solitary confinement every August because of the fact that they're about that Black August resistance. Black August is more than just a month. But when we say Black August, we say Black August resistance because of the fact that the resistance is the thing that separates this from like a Juneteenth. Juneteenth, you're like, yeah, you know, we was freed and everything good. Let's have a Juneteenth barbecue, a Juneteenth sale, you know, Juneteenth strip club, whatever the case. You know, Black August is different. You know what I mean? Black August mean that we still got to get busy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Black August means that if you are able-minded and able-bodied, we still recognize that we are at war. You know what I'm saying? Our brothers and sisters that are behind the wall, I hear so many folks talking about reparations. If you hear anybody talking about reparations and they're not talking about the liberation of our political prisoners first, then they ain't talking about shit. And that's a fact because of the fact that if KENWARDO's wife is kidnapped, and I say, you know what, we was beefing this shit, but I got his wife in the basement, and I say, man, we cool, let bygones be bygones. Let's go have a drink. Let's go hang out. He go 10 stacks, 10 racks, whatever. KENWARDO like, nah, listen, before any of that shit can happen, I want my wife back.
Right.
All other shit, fuck the drinks. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no money. We ain't gonna burn no L. The first order operations, I need my people back. And that's what it is. When you have troops, your political prisoners are your cadre, that's your comrades, that's your troops. You know what I'm saying? You ain't my man John, he being held in the basement and shit, and we talking about, yo, we gonna go party with the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And he like, all right, cool, y'all come get me when y'all get back. Nah, motherfucker, get me out, then we can talk about this other shit.
Right.
You know, so that's what it is when we talk about political prisoners. The freedom of our people first.
Right, yeah. We introduce John Hargrove.
Peace, God. How you doing, brother?
John Hargrove, he's the president of UINA ACL Atlantic Division 421.
Okay, right on, right on.
Yeah.
Good to meet you, comrade. How you feeling, man?
Peace. I'm doing well. It's good to be here. Sounds like the topic is August. But I'm enjoying the things that I'm hearing, the history that our people have accomplished. One thing that you said that caught my attention, though, that I have agreed with in the past, but as I as I get ready to prepare my Harvey Day celebration, I have to challenge the concept of celebration in August. And I do understand we still have a lot of work to do. I don't disagree with that. Like, we have a long way to go, and we have to be careful with celebration. Sometimes we get drunk with it, you know, like that's all we want to do is party and dance and drink. But one thing I say is celebration of life, for one. For us, Black August is, we call August the month of Mosiah, the month of Garvey. But Garvey was born August 17th, 1887. Celebrating the life of our ancestors.
No, let me correct, because you're absolutely right what you said. So I want to correct what I was trying to say.
Okay.
I agree with what you're saying as far as celebrating life. What I meant was the concept of Black August, not from Garvey, you understand? But I'm saying from a political prisoner standpoint. What I'm saying is our fallen soldiers who were murdered. I'm saying our fallen soldiers who were captured. You know what I'm saying? We celebrate Garvey, we celebrate Malcolm, we celebrate all our freedom fighters. But I'm saying when we're talking about if there's a death, if one of our people has been assassinated, we're not celebrating that assassination. We're celebrating their life. But the assassination itself, we're commemorating it because of the fact that it is an atrocity that is taking place. So we're not celebrating the atrocity. We can celebrate the individual, but we're not saying like, yo, this is the day they bomb move, we're gonna celebrate. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by that.
Okay. I'm with you. As you were speaking, one thing that came to my mind, and one thing we have to remember is the concept of celebration. The foundation of it is remembrance, you know. So whether it is celebrating Move or doing some community service for Move to remember the legacy, we have to be diligent about doing things to maintain the legacy, you know, of our ancestors, you know.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, and that's what I'm saying, like, I don't agree with a lot of the attitude of we'd rather party in the name of Malcolm rather than do work in the name of Malcolm, you know, or a lot of these ancestors. So I disagree with how we carry it, but I still have to appreciate that we remember them. You know, like some of our people, like, you know, Harriet Tubman or Rosa Parks, like, we know their names, but we may not remember their birthday, you know, until it comes around and then somebody reminds you, you know.
Right.
So, you know, we got a lot of work to do. That's my point. But it is good to remember, you know, remember the ancestors, the fight, the victories as well as the losses, you know. Yeah. But that's my point. Thank you.
Let's put it in perspective real quick, right? The words, like anything I'm speaking of in regards to Black August, none of that is for me.
Okay.
I was the East Coast chair of the Black August Organizing Committee under the original Black August Organizing Committee. So anything that I say representing Black August is not a personal thing for me. This is from the OGs, this is from the elders. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is this too, and I'm uniting with what you're saying, but I'm gonna put it in perspective like this right here. John's our comrade, right?
Right.
Okay. Yes, sir.
John's birthday. When's your birthday, comrade?
January 21st.
January 21st. We celebrate. I'm bringing. Look, it ain't Black August. I'm bringing some Uncle Nearest. We got the drinks. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing something green that stink. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna celebrate my man John. That's his born day. Now, yes, sir. If John is attacked by the police and John is murdered on August 2nd, right? Yeah. We ain't saying we gonna go party. This is what John would want. They just blew John brains out, and we like, yo, yeah, fuck it for John. You know what I'm saying? That's when we commemorate. We celebrate the victory. We celebrate the fact that John's life meant something and means something to us. We celebrate that Garvey's life means something to us. When Marcus Garvey was locked up at Atlanta Federal Penitentiary here, they didn't say, oh, we're going to celebrate that Garvey was locked up today. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no party about that. That's, you know what I'm saying? We keeping it in mind. We're going to remember it. You understand what I'm saying? So yes. That's the difference when we talk about the whole thing. I get what you're saying. We ain't got it. We don't have to be looking solemn, but at the same time, and even with Move, I work with Move. They not celebrating the fact that, you know, they lost their family members. They ain't about to have, you know. But I think we might be on the same line, but I think we just we just adjusted a little bit.
No, we definitely on the same line, bro. I'm just honestly like, look, bro, like, and that's what I kind of hate about these things. Like, it almost forces you to have dialogue, you know. So
that's good. That's the good thing about it.
You know, to bring a different opinion to what you say. I can't just say like, you know what, I agree with everything that brother said.
Nah, I don't. You're not a robot, and you're not a See, we're not zealots, and we're not. You know what I'm saying? We're not trained lap dogs. You know what I'm saying? We're not. You know, and anytime you find that type of situation, you have a problem. I don't know a man, woman, or child that I agree with totally on everything. Right. I have children. I have adult children. I don't agree with everything they say, and I don't expect them to agree with everything I say. But from a principle standpoint, we got to agree on what are the things that are principle. You understand what I'm saying? So we can struggle with principle as long as at the end of the day it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? How's Ross Marvin, man? Is he still is he 421 as well or what?
Yes, sir. What do you mean? Like,
okay, I ain't seen him in a while. So, you know,
he's doing well. He's been underground. He's doing well. You know.
Okay. I ain't know if Ross Marvin was 421 or 420 because that's my brother. You know what I'm saying?
He's official 421.
No doubt.
Ain't no 421 without Ross Marvin. You know?
No doubt. Give him the greetings for me, man. You know what I'm saying? We used to hang out in the apartment over there. You know.
Okay. Off what was that? Fairfield.
Yeah, Fairfield. Yeah. We had his crib, and then he had the UNIA spot on the side over there.
Yeah, right. MLK over there.
Yeah.
That's a scary spot.
Man, with the hole in the driveway you come through there. Yeah, I know they probably ain't fixed that damn hole yet. That was about 10 years ago.
That's one of the scariest days of my life. Just driving. Come this where the office at.
Look here, man. Hey, I'm hopping out the joint like Yosemite Sam. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, turn around or nothing. Like you just gotta pull in and
deal with it. It's too late.
Like this Atlanta, man. Like, well, are you serious? Like this is the mission of the trap. Like, what are you doing?
Hey, but that's why I respect them because of the fact that that's where you're supposed to organize that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you're right. The only thing that saved me, I seen a red, black, and green flag in somebody's window. And
right.
It's probably the place. But he's doing well. He's doing well. But one thing I'm gonna say, just to continue the dialogue. And one thing we have to appreciate. I've done work with specifically here in Atlanta. As you were talking about, you know, birth and death, Rayshard Brooks came to my mind, you know, and his death and him being shot down by the police. And the anniversary of that, I believe it was June 12th, had just passed. And, it doesn't start out, you know, it doesn't always start out as a celebration. You know, sometimes the only way to attend these commemorative events that are so painful for individuals that are personally related to it is to have some sort of intoxication, you know. So they come, you know, start passing the bottles, you know, past the stinky green. Over time, it becomes a celebration, you know. But if you didn't allow that behavior, these people wouldn't even be able to come to the event, or they wouldn't feel comfortable coming to the event.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not against that.
Okay, it's something that we have to monitor and kind of, you know, we're aware of it. Us as men, enlightened men and women out there, we're aware, but I don't think it's enough of us that are aware that can manage these situations to make sure that the commemorative part isn't overlooked. You know what I mean?
I think that again. I think the terminology is where we're getting thrown, right?
Yeah. Right.
We're African. We're gonna celebrate birth. We're gonna celebrate life. We're gonna celebrate death.
Yeah,
that's clear.
Right.
The reasoning behind, we cannot lose sight of why we are where we are. We can't. The last poets talk about party and bullshit. We gonna pouring libation is an African thing. When we pour out a little liquor on the block, that's African.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When the brothers and sisters in the hood talking about I'm ratchet. They talk about I'm wretched, the wretched of the earth. You understand what I'm saying? So it's terminology that we're dealing with, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, I'm not saying by no means, you can't do this, you can't do that. But at certain times we do certain things, right? Right. If you go to your man's funeral, you ain't passing the liquor inside the church. You ain't gotta be a Christian. You ain't gonna spark an L up in the joint. You know what I'm saying? That's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's a time and a place for everything under the sun. You understand what I'm saying? So if you on the block and you pouring it out or you sparking, that's what it is. But you didn't come. They ain't gonna break the pole out and Muggs is, you know what I'm saying, swinging on the corner and everything. That ain't what it is. You feel me?
Now I think I got where both of y'all coming from, and it's just like he's saying, it's the terminology, because if something happened to me, don't get a Soul Train line started and start pop locking down the way.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna get something done. You know, I want some vengeance. Then get a celebration going on. Hey, but we are celebratory people. But I want to back it up to something you were saying when you were just talking about, and this was way when you were talking about how, you know, that kind of nigga machine produces the fact that I hate somebody on the fact that I think he think he tough. He don't even think he tough.
He ain't thinking about being tough.
I think he think he tough because of the way I perceive him.
Right.
And man, that just shows, like, you know, how the perception go. I
like how whoever passed you what they passed you with, because they didn't show up in the camera or nothing.
No.
All you see is,
look, man, we covert.
Y'all gangster, boy.
Look, man.
And then off like ain't nothing happened.
Look, like, man, didn't even miss a beat talking, man. Just grab it and be like, yeah, man. So, you know.
Like, I ain't gonna let you slide with that one, but go ahead.
But no, that's just the synchronicity of us, man.
Yeah.
But we are celebratory people.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? We'll find any reason to get a barbecue and a little session going on, man.
Absolutely.
So both of y'all are really talking truth, and y'all are talking about like what's us, but what you saying is that what I like what you putting on is the understanding the commemoration of things. Like, I had an elder that kind of told me, you know, he said rites of passage is what it is. He said a rites of passage is not what he said. Because how did I word it? I think I said I forget how I worded it, but he corrected me. And he told me rites of passage. He said it's not how did I say? Did I say ceremony or something? But he gave me the correct terminology, and he showed me, and I never used it like that again. He made me understand. It wasn't a program. That's what he said. He said it's not a program.
Right. It's not an event. Right.
And that's what he did, you know. But he kind of corrected me on that a few years back, and I said, okay. But if he wouldn't have correct me on that terminology, I would have, you know.
And see what's important, man. Like when we talk about revolution, terms is everything. Terms is everything. You understand what I'm saying? We have to be able to differentiate a murder, a killing, a death, a murder, an assassination. Those are different things. Right. You know what I'm saying? One thing Chairman Fred Jr. talked about with Jay-Z. Jay-Z said in one of his songs that he was born the same day that Fred Hampton died. Nah, Fred Hampton didn't die. He was assassinated. Right. If somebody died, you know, he could have, like he said, slipped on a piece of ice. He could have been in a car accident. But terminology, terms is everything. With the state, it means everything. If you go into prison or whatever, you get charged on certain things. The difference between a homicide, manslaughter, murder, so on and so forth. It's certain things are lesser charges. You understand what I'm saying? So it's important that we make sure that we have our terms correct, because if not, we will do ourselves a disservice. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be clear about what it is we're dealing with, because of the fact that when we talk about, for instance, Black August, there are tenets to Black August, right? As far as how it's commemorated with the Black August Organizing Committee and freedom fighters. This is what Black August is. It ain't what I think it should be. Right. It ain't what you think it should be. This is how it was laid out. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the mosque, you pray 5 times a day. It ain't because, you at the masjid, well, I think I'm gonna pray 2 times a day, or I think I'm gonna do 6. That ain't Islam. You know what I'm saying? It's rules to how we move. Yeah. Christmas, Santa Claus, Jesus, whatever they say it is, that's what it is. The Easter Bunny ain't gonna come sliding under the door like, what's going on? Well, I heard it was Christmas. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
something out of order if it do.
Right. So with Black August,
yes, sir.
Alcohol, right? Weed, all that. That's haram. That ain't, it's you fasting from that. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. So in the celebration, we just kicking it. We just, we going, what up? It's Black August. Let me that ain't what this is. Now, if we say we're gonna do that on Garvey Day, and that's cool, then I can't. You can't regulate that because that ain't what it is. Right. But it's like with the movie. Dude said when he said he said, I don't give a fuck what you call it, just don't call it blue magic. You call that shit blue dog shit. You know what I'm saying? This is this. That stamp means that this is this person's product. Where you from, John?
Originally from Virginia.
What part of Virginia?
Hampton.
Hampton? Okay, cool. All right. You from Virginia. The rules in Hampton and the rules in Richmond and the rules in Norfolk might not be the same rules.
Yeah.
You from California. LA and Oakland is two different scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You in LA. Over here, this street might be Bloods. This street might be Blood. In the middle, it might be Crip. And on the end might be Blood. You know what I'm saying? KENWARDO's from Chicago. That baseball cap you got on right there, he ain't rocking that like that when he go to certain parts of Chicago. Right or wrong? Hey. Sure, what you gonna do with it?
If you a neutron, it's gonna be like this. It'll be like this if you on the 6-point stop.
That's right.
Like that.
Hey,
you might have like that though when I was young.
Hey, but I ain't from Chicago. Did I make that up?
Nah, that's you get killed for real.
KENWARDO could be like, well, shit, I like wearing my hat like this. Okay, walk your ass over there with your hat like that. Your whole hat, you ain't got to worry about how you wear the hat no more. You ain't gonna remember nothing about no hat. You leave with no head. I went to Chicago one time with a certain rapper. We walking down the street, and all of a sudden I see a bunch of cats surrounding us. And we walking and we talking. It's about 6 of us and everything. I'm playing it off. They don't even see what's going on. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm talking jibber jabber now because I see cats is coming from different angles and shit. It's 6 of us, but we're in Chicago, we're in the streets, and it's nighttime. You feel me? How Keith Sweat say something just ain't right. So dudes is huddling up. So I'm like, yeah, man, you know, goldfish, sweet potato pie, whatever. What you talking about? Dude, like, hey man, what's happening? Where y'all headed? What's happening? What do you say? What happened, Joe? Like,
yeah, Joe, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, hey man, whatever. Dude that's with us, like, look, oh nah, we about to do such. What's up with that hat? Oh nah, this such and such. He a rapper. Oh yeah, I know that song. That's cool, but what's up with that hat?
Yeah.
Dude, like, you gotta straighten your hat out when you come through here. Man, listen, homeboy is moving so slow. I started straightening for him. Like, you mean like this right here? I think this might it look good like that. Because these cats weren't playing. You know what I'm saying? And I understood that we were in a particular space where the politics says that this means this.
Right.
It ain't, I can't make the rules. KENWARDO can't save me. You know, he grew up when KENWARDO might have been on that block all his life.
Right.
I can't just come through rocking the hat the way I want to.
But
now, that might seem small.
But you know something else, man? I like it because what it does, because this was an incident that happened a little while back involving the word Jegna.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And this was just some everyday cat, you know, he wanted to call himself a Jegna.
Right. And
I instructed him, I said, hey man, you might not want to throw that around. That's a very serious term.
That's right.
You know, we have some elders that really will correct you about that. And that person didn't receive the education I was getting. And I had to tell them the same thing you was telling them, Kalonji. It's not because OBASI say it. It ain't because I say it. Because that's what's ingrained in the rule of it, of the seriousness of how this is a serious word, depending on where you at. Don't over there. And I would say go over there to use her for example. Go to Mama Marimba and tell her you that and see
that's right.
Yeah. What's gonna happen. So right. I like it because, man, we have to have stuff that we put that as put some respect on it. We gotta put some respect on that name, and so it's some seriousness of Black August. It's not like how you say it is nothing like a Juneteenth. Get that off. It ain't nothing like it is to be taken serious.
And me representing it again.
Yes,
I have to represent a certain way because we have structure. So I have to answer to some folks.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't about, you know, well, look, I think we should do this on this day, whatever, you know, my man's birthday. So, you know, shit, even my father's birthday, I got to celebrate my father's birthday. His birthday, August 3rd. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean jack shit. You know what I mean? So, and that's just what it is. And I'm saying that you know, because of the fact that, you know, with us, we being products of a colonized territory, products of a colony, it's difficult for us to accept certain things, really, if it's not state sanctioned. You understand what I'm saying? My position with my organization is chief coordinator, right? I stop folks. Folks used to, you know, we refer people, you know, chairman such and such, chief such and such, this, that, so on and so forth. I stopped the whole chief business because of the fact that I felt the way, because of the fact that folks that don't know what our protocol is, they'll look at it like, oh, this nigga think he whoop-de-whoop. You feel me? So I stopped that whole thing. But it's not a problem if I say, if KENWARDO went to medical school and he's Dr. KENWARDO, everybody like, yo, that's Dr. KENWARDO. If my man OBASI went to, you know, he's an attorney, that's attorney OBASI. But if I say, look, I'm chief such and such from the such and such organization, what's up, Kalonji? Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's the business. And no one sees anything wrong with that because of the fact that I'm not state sanctioned. I didn't go to school under European thought. I'm not certified by these Europeans, by these crackers. But if you talk to Mama Marimba and you talk to Baba Baruti and you talk to some of these other people you name, then I have a certain certification that would go beyond this other business. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Some folks look at me as an elder. I'm 50. So to me, I'm what would be called a junior elder. I'm not an elder because I have elders. I'm an OG. And when we talk about OGs, I'm not talking about original gangster, original gorilla. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's what we see. We say our OGs, I'm talking about original gorillas, not no damn original gangster. These are cats that put in that work. And like I said, shit is documented. I don't come with a full resume, no bio. I ain't got shit to prove, none of that, because of the fact that there's footprints where you can see the shit for yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not a personal thing. It's not of who I think I am. Nigga, this is my life. No. And that's that.
But you know what it is, bro? It's like you remember, because before we started, I said, bro, I got to give you your flowers, because even though I have, you know, we done passed each other in a couple of events, but your work, I know your work. Oh, yeah. I know you from your work. I know you from your level of seriousness, that if I mention your name to those elders, they have high respect for you because of not who you think you are, you know, because like you said, bro, that's what's so factual about what you're talking about, because we have that mentality. I don't know who this nigga think he is, you know, this because of that. But no, it's the work this person put in. Right. That's to me, man, that's what the judgment is. How much work have you done?
I got people that are coming up to me nowadays like, hey, man, I want to apologize to you. What's up? Man, I wasn't even showing you no respect. I thought you was my age, and I thought, well, because they might see me with one of my sons who's 30, 31, and they you know, this your son? Yeah, that's my son. Oh man, you know, I mean, literally, like, no bullshit. I've had several different people apologizing to me because of the fact that they knew in their heart, soul, and their mind that they wasn't giving me proper respect, because of the fact that on the strength, they felt like we was from the same joint, and it was more of a competitive type thing.
Right.
No. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not asking for my ass to be kissed. Yeah. I'm just saying, show me the respect that you want to get, and we move from there. And if not, I gotta, my motto is shit, no respect, no rap, or, you know what I'm saying, honorable avoidance. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I don't know you, you don't know me. I got shit to do. I ain't got time to worry about your personal feelings or what you think I'm thinking about. I mean, shit, that's cool. But in the grand scheme of things, we'll still be fucked up at the end of the day.
Right.
You ain't gonna be no further than I'm gonna be. We're gonna still be running around in the circles and shit until we decide that, look, you know, we have to get off this treadmill and stop going nowhere fast and figure out what is our strongest qualities. What's our strength? What is our strengths? See, the problem with us is we don't want to be honest with ourselves. We all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. But as men, our egos and our arrogance we got to flare it out. Right. That's cool. But at the end of the day, if we still fucked up, your chest means nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we still, if we all still hungry, then shit, we fell in each other. And you starting with failing yourself.
Right.
You know, so definitely, man, I'm grateful again, man, to always have the opportunity to rap with brothers and sisters who are concerned with our plight and are interested in our victory, man. Because at the end of the day, man, it's like, yo, man, this rap group, Little Brother, and one of the lines from one of their songs was, do you really want to win or do you want to look good losing? We look damn good losing.
Right.
We the flyest fucking slaves with the biggest chains and the biggest whips and going nowhere fast, B. We out here just, I mean, if you think about it, we should be embarrassed.
And that's sad.
We should be embarrassed. Talking about all the shit we built, all the shit we did. We idolize men that were here 100 years ago instead of producing these men so other folks can look at 100 years from now. You understand what I'm saying? Those flags that you brothers have behind your back, that is a sign of greatness. Not just Garvey, because Garvey couldn't have did jack shit by himself. No disrespect. Right. He couldn't have did a goddamn thing by himself, just like neither one of us. But there are brothers and sisters that put in that work. The Queen Mother Moores, the Amy's, both his wives. You know what I'm saying? The Henry Highland Garnetts that existed before him, and so on and so forth. There's so many people that put that work in and made. I mean, the fact that that red, black, and green flag still exists 100 years later, that's a testament of his work, not our work. Y'all really can't even claim that shit.
Right.
Because to a great extent, you false flagging if you're not adding on to it. If you're not adding on anything to it, but just talking about how great he was, I mean, shit, that's whack. And I love Garvey, but I love Malcolm. But what are we gonna do to add on? What are we gonna tell our children and our grandchildren? Like I said, I got 6 grandchildren, man. My oldest grandchild's 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? They're learning how to be revolutionaries right now. Nothing more beautiful than that. I don't give a fuck what nobody think about me, dog. You know what I'm saying? I got proof is in the put in. I got that. You feel me? Say what you want to. Matters not. You know what I'm saying? I've contributed something to our people's liberation movement. Something. No matter how small, how big. You know what I'm saying? I'm an ant. One thing Garvey said, we talked about when he was locked up here in Atlanta, when the reporter came up to him and said, Mr. Garvey, we got you now. What you gonna do? What'd he say? He said, you may have the lion in the cage, but I left many cubs in the bush. Look at us now. We those cubs in the bush, we growing up. You know what I'm saying? We're becoming those lions. You know, if we look at a lot of these freedom fighters that existed before us, Malcolm was assassinated at your age, Obasi. You know what I'm saying? Martin was assassinated at your age. Frantz Fanon was 36, Che 39. You know what I'm saying? Walter Rodney, I believe 36. You know what I'm saying? These were youngsters. Fred Hampton, Chairman Fred Hampton, 21 years old. You understand what I'm saying? You know, little Bobby Hutton, 17 years old. These are brothers that never made it to age 40. Che Guevara, I think I said Che, 39 years old.
But you know something, man, and a lot of people don't like to give him his respect, but I always say, and that's why I mentioned Mutulu Shakur, because it was through Tupac Shakur. Like I was born in '81, so I was like 15 when they took him out.
He was born when Mutulu was captured.
You know
83, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so it was through, like I always tell people, before I really grew up to really understand what it was about, before I really knew about Malcolm X outside of the Spike Lee movie, Tupac was the first black man that I ever heard talk that way. You know, so Now this for me, I never heard a black man talk that way before I really understood. And it was through him that I heard the names Sekou Odinga, Mumia Abu
Pratt. Yeah.
You know, Geronimo Pratt. And these names stuck with me, bro. And my mom would always get at me. I'm gonna go back, man. Now this CD players for anybody, you know, for the one. And she would always fuss at me, bro, about going to sleep with this CD player in my ear. And in this, she brought me this. This was during my birthday. She bought me this Tupac CD, and it was Thug Immortal. And it was almost like he was laying the blueprint out. And I would go to sleep every night, bro, and listen to this. Now think about that. And I tell children, be careful what you listen to that's getting pumped into your subconscious. Because, man, that's what I was falling asleep listening to. And I didn't even understand what I was doing. But look at what it birthed, man. True, so that's why I always say, you know, I understand, you know, but I always give Tupac his because he was the first black man that showed me, you know, what a mission was about. Now he might not have been clear on all things, but
it's okay. Yeah.
It's okay, bro. It's okay.
He was only 25 when he was assassinated.
He was only 25, man.
Now you know Sekou was actually Yafu Gaddafi's father, right?
Yes, sir.
From the Outlaw. Yeah. So I mean, and that's you know, and that's one thing I tell folks too. Be careful about Pop because of the fact that, you know, he took it to a certain level. He took it, you know what I'm saying? He took that baton and he ran as far as he can go by the age of 25. We got, when you talk about Malcolm, for all practical purposes, Malcolm was only Malcolm, I mean, shit, like what, 11 years?
Right.
You talking about he was Detroit Red more than he was Malcolm.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really get his information to the 50s. And then, you know, he's assassinated in 65. So, you know what I'm saying? He was well into the 50s. In fact, I believe it's about 9 or 11 years. I forget the number. I'm getting kind of,
I think it was like 11, 12 or somewhere.
Yeah. So you talking about, for all practical purposes, a brother have with that magnitude in less than a dozen years, a little over 10 years, and he did more in less time than many of us that exist on this planet right now.
Thanks.
So that's, and the reason why is because he was serious about what he was into. I respect anybody that's serious about their craft. If you're serious about our people's liberation movement, it will show, and we will feel it. And can't nobody, listen, man, let me tell you something, man. The most beautiful thing about being a man is arriving at a point where you really don't give a fuck what nobody else think. You ain't trying to impress nobody. Right. You don't even give a fuck if you match when you step outside. Nobody think about that. I'm like, man, sometimes I might be in the middle of moving around, and I moved around the whole city all day. And I look in the mirror, I'm like, God damn, nigga, you got some gray shoes on, some green pants, and some other crazy shit that you didn't even know you had on, because none of that mattered. You know what I'm saying? But you got the job done. You know what I mean? So, you know, again, man, you know, I applaud, you know, you brothers, and you know, I really, you know, I pray and I hope and I wish that that we all advance and contribute to our people's liberation movement.
That's right.
I'm not saying our people struggle, because again, those terms, those words, I ain't in the struggle. I'm in the movement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like nice shit too. I ain't down for no, you know, we just gonna, you know, we're gonna live in a hole in the wall just to say that, you know, nah. You know what I'm saying? If these crackers live in a nice house, then ain't nothing wrong with me living in a nice house. Wait till you die and get to heaven. That sounds good, but I don't know what's gonna happen after I leave here. So I'm gonna try to get a piece right now while I could. Right. You know, if all that other stuff is there after we gone, then that's cool too. But I'm not gonna just sit here and be dormant just because. You know what I mean? Cool. But I appreciate y'all. I got to get ready to run though, man. We got this morning show early in the morning.
That's right.
And I'm getting old. You know what I'm saying? Not as old as KENWARDO. But,
hey, when you before you leave, tell us tell everybody where we can find you and all the information.
Where to find me at where? I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, where you find
where to find me? Man, you find me in the hood. You can find me in the yeah, man. I'm on social media, on Facebook, Kalonji Jama Changa, Twitter, Kalonji Changa, Instagram, Who He Talking To. We have a morning show, like I mentioned earlier, the Remix Morning Show, every Tuesday through Thursday from 8 to 10 a.m. on Black Power Media. That's our YouTube network. You know what I'm saying? We have a podcast network, Black Power Media. I co-host a podcast called Renegade Culture. I host another podcast called Riot Starter TV. Our website is thepeoplesarmy.org, thepeoplesarmy.org. We have a film coming out, Organizing is the New Cool. You can check that out at organizingisthenewcool.com. We have, what else? Yeah, so you can find me somewhere. I ain't gonna go through a whole gamut. But
when you say your book coming out, man.
Yeah, so I have a book called How to Build a People's Army that's just 10 years old. But I have 2 books coming out. One, I'm co-authoring the next book. I pray that it'll be out in the fall. It's called The African Art of War, Jagun, The African Art of War, and it's co-authored by my brother Balogun Ojay-Tade, who is the founder of the African Martial Arts Institute.
Where can I find the book at? What can I purchase it?
That particular book's not out yet. How to Build a People's Armies on Amazon or wherever you get your books from. You know what I'm saying? We got that. But yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, man, on the real, man, and I hope that you know that I didn't come off arrogant or egotistical.
Oh, nah, man.
And I appreciate learning and vibing from y'all. And my man John, I appreciate the dialogue because of the fact that, you know, man sharpens man like steel sharpens steel.
Right.
And so if we can't learn anything from each other, then what good are we?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I always, one thing that I do as far as organizing is I try to, real quick, one thing my father told me one time, he asked me, I said, yeah, man, I got this new organization I started. I was a teenager and whatnot, right? So I'm cocky, I'm coming through talking my shit, him and my uncles out. I said, yeah, man, I got this new organization. So yeah. He said, yeah. He said, who the smartest brother in the team? I was like, me, duh. He said, oh yeah. He said, you need a new team then. I'm sitting there, I'm fucked up. I'm like, damn, like, you gonna diss me, man? But what he was trying to tell me, and I didn't catch till later, was that that you have to surround yourself by people as sharp as you or sharper, as smart as you or smarter. Right. Because of the fact that you want to make sure that you have some level, something to attain. Yeah. You have to have goals. You can't be the baddest fighter, the most intelligent, all that type of shit, because you have a bunch of zombies behind you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I need to know KENWARDO, he's the best driver. He the getaway driver. OBASI, we can't let him drive because he's gonna be high and he gonna fuck around and he gonna forget where he parked. You know what I'm saying? His girl gonna come past him some shit. You know what I'm saying? He done forgot. You know what I'm saying? So we can't have him. John gonna be debating. Look, I think we should park over here. You know what I'm saying? Like with this right here. When I park, I usually park on this side of the street. So he can't drive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's funny, man.
Yeah, we gotta be clear about what our roles and our strengths are, man.
About what we're doing, man.
Yeah. Then we gonna win because of the fact that we know that shit, John the best chef. You know what I'm saying? John gonna cook up some shit and we're gonna be full, we're gonna be ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? KENWARDO, he gonna be tasting everything and putting his fingers in it. He ain't wash his hands. That's my man. He eating off the spoon. Like, come on, KENWARDO. You know, so our strengths, man.
And bro, you really not old until you start just randomly nodding off. So you're not old yet, bro.
Oh, good. Well, I'm just talking shit, man. I I feel good, man. You know what I'm saying?
Good, bro.
I'm trying to feel better. You know, so yeah, I'm just talking shit, man. I ain't, you know.
Much respect, G.
Yes, man.
I appreciate
y'all. Love y'all, brothers,
too,
man. Yes, y'all stay safe out there, man.
Yes, sir.
Peace out, brother. We love you, man.
No doubt. Love y'all too, man.
Got the mind of a king, you should really protect them. Everybody talking, but Rebel really the next. I got the mind of a king, spread to never take this. Slavery, fake hip hop, you dead if you were racist. I got the mind of a king, you could never replace this. Blood from the mud, no love, so I'ma say I got the mind of a king. I know where I am from now. I'ma wake 'em up, you keep 'em sleep, it's up to me. I got the mind of a king.